Okay, so we're going to learn a little bit about Parashas Hachodesh, Tzaddok, and the greatness of Hachodesh Nissan from Rosh Chodesh Nissan, page 32 on the base, Lave, and that's really, if you had to summarize Tzaddok, that's how you do it. So, Lave, connecting to the heart of the matter and the depth of the matter. So, if Tzaddok brings, first of all, he says, let's start reading this, right? V'hine, it's first column, read the paragraph. V'hine matzinu b'midas puranas uta אז הם מקרים לפני או אחריה, כמו שקוראים חז"ל. הפעם מביא לפני אדם. Yeah. You find a little bit of Parashas. I guess he's saying this is Avodah Zarah, this Ayin Zayin. Actually, yeah, for sure that there was talking about over there, like was looked at the Medrash just now. You have this in the Medrash in Parashas Rabbim Gimel talks about it. It says in the pasuk that Avraham Avinu's forces, or maybe just Eliezer, whoever his chanicha, whatever these people are, or person, or whatever it means that did his bidding for him when he went to rescue Lot, they chased the evil kings, right? They chased in their armies all the way. Right? It sounds like 318, like 318 people. They were chasing them until dawn. So Rashi already asked, what's dawn? There was no dawn yet. Dawn's a little, you know what I mean? Dawn's in the future. But the place of dawn. So Rashi says, that's one way. Again, later on it seems to be saying maybe the same place is really called Chova. It had a name of its own, where they call it dawn. That was a big space. Chov was a particular name. However, you explain why. Like the Rashi explains, well, Yerubim Nevat was going to bring an egel. They was going to put an egel there. Since Yerubim Nevat put an egel there, so it was hard to overcome this. It was hard. Everyone felt a weakness there. His forces felt a weakness there. They were beating these armies in a miraculous manner. Even if you learn with these 318 people, whatever they, to Kimat Eliezer, but like even if you learned there were 318 people or whatever they were, like it still was miraculous, and they just they weren't exactly faltering, but they couldn't keep chasing the same way. Fine, very good. So that's one mahalach. Tzaddok brings the Medrash. The Medrash says a different mahalach. That Dan was a place that was set aside. This was the name of an avodah zarah. The name of Avodah Zarah. It's a pasuk who are Echadon or something. They bring one of the Farshim brings to the Bechina where you see that there was an Avodah Zarah they called Don, and going there because the Jewish people were going to worship there. This idolatry, this Don. So there was a little bit of they faltered, and it was hard for them. That's the chayr what the Medrash is saying. Right? So you have this Bechim, but his main point is you can have an onish from before things happen. That's what he's saying. Don't shebru to chamhi. U'makal l'fanei ma'achareha. Makal l'fanei b'yedef don. Makal me'achareha. Midon nishma echra susa. Right? From dawn you heard the galloping of the horses. Right? That they were this place that was called Don, where there was idolatry. So before the idolatry, there was a little bit of an onish there. That's why they had the difficulty, and after. So what Tzaddok really means is not so much this medrash. He means to say there's a rule. The rule is midat tov meruba, right? The rule is koshkin and midat tov meruba, right? So midat tov meruba, we have a rule that midat tov meruba, that the good is stronger than the bad. So if you have a reality that relates to punishment, you have a much better situation. It's going to be even more true about reward and about connected to holiness, right? Just like it's after the fact, this special, let's say the Geula, which is where he's going to go right now, right? We have the Geula coming, right? So the closer you get to the Geula, you can already feel the repercussions and the awe of the Geula, even from before. Just like you can find Avraham Avinu, no one did idolatry yet. They were going to do idolatry there. So again, we don't have to go into the Bechira and Yediyah. What do you mean? You give them a punishment before, they didn't even do it. That's a different question. It's a good question. It's not for now. And the answer, of course, the short answer is we have no idea. We really don't understand how things work at all. There's a bechina where something so odious that the potential even that they're going to fall here, the potential that they could fall here, is already enough to make a faltering enough for Avinu and his forces. That's Parashas the way it means, and we don't really understand that how could there be such places. There's such a thing, there was such a test, there's such a reality put into the world. But by Geula, it's even more so. We're moving towards the Geula Hasida, and the ultimate redemption. And the ultimate redemption, our sages say it's going to be in Nissan. We don't really understand much about the Geula, but it doesn't have to mean literally that it has to be only in Nissan. It means the way the Tzaddok is learning, at least, it means that in the Schus of Nissan we're going to have the Geula. So maybe there's a special or the Geula in Nissan. Right? That's what he's saying. And that you're building the Geula each Nissan. That's really where he's going here. וכמו לעניין קדושת המקום, כן לעניין קדושת הזמן. כמו שנקרא קדושת באוס המקום, דור לאחריו, כן יש בו גם לפניו האורס קדושה, ועד גם הקדושה והאור, העושה בגלוס, במהר ימינו, בעץ הקיץ, גם הוא מאיר גם כן לפניו, also יום מועד המוכן לכך. He said, on the time when it's prepared for it, you're going to have an or. Just like the place where the base of Mikdash was going to be, there was a big or, right? And many things happened there, right? The Rishon's sacrifice was there. Avinu, the Kedah was there. There were also the Midrashim, big things, a big or in this place, even from before. And just see, it's got very special properties from the fact that it's going to have a base of Mikdash there. Right now, the fact that before them, theoretically, there wasn't any, the specialness wasn't yet revealed. But it was still there. There was a reverberation from beforehand.
Was it special because the base of Mikdash was going to be there, or the base of Mikdash was there
supposed to be there because it was special? But it works in one. It's one thing. So therefore, when you have something prepared for, just like a place can be prepared for something, because it has a specialness to it, right? Even though right now, before the base of Mikdash, right? People walk by and just see that area was sanctified. I'm not sure. As far as I know, it wasn't sanctified. I don't know that there was anything particular there that I know of. It wasn't necessarily sanctified. That was special. No, David found the place and he bought it off. He paid for it and he was ready for the build. The basement should be ready. But before then, people. There was a house there. It wasn't. I don't think it was a field, but it wasn't particularly.
Yeah, farm field.
Yeah, whatever the field, whatever it was, the house nearby, someone's property. It was a regular property. It wasn't, but it was sanctified nevertheless. It was a place that was the proper place for a Rishon to sacrifice. He felt that there was an or, and for Amravina, for the Hachodesh to happen, and the reason why was because there was a reverberation of the special kedusha of the base of Mikdash that was happening. This is the proper place. So the kedusha wasn't revealed; it was ready for this place. So Mamela, you could feel it even beforehand. Even Rishon could feel. He knew this is the place. This is the right place to go. And whatever else. So that's the Indian. So that's the first thing. So this is the same thing. When you have the time that's prepared, you should feel the gula even now. And the closer you get to the gula, of course, the more you feel it.
He's saying it's an ikar b'zman, not the,
that's right.
But
even though it's b'zman, it's not b'mako. It's everywhere. But the time is a time. He said it's the same thing. Because again, this Don doesn't prove anything. Tzaddok wasn't a reality in time. It wasn't a bad day. Don was a day that it was a place where they did things, right? Where they worshipped this idolatry. It might have been the ego, might have been this thing done, might have been the same thing. I don't even know. But one way or the other way, whatever it was, it did this. It was prepared for something that was nasty and hard to overcome. So they had negative repercussions when you want to go in there with kedusha. The same thing, the opposite. That's about it. And that's something that some people are careful with nittul or whatever. That's part of the rationale of why this is prepared at a time when it was not such a simple. People were going to use it and misuse it, and it's not such a simple day. Not so simple. Fine. Right. And in accordance with what he said earlier, so which we're not going to go into now, but he's going to tell us enough in this couple of paragraphs, this column or two. We can already just sit on where he told us. He said, bottom line, when is the time that's prepared for Gula, Rosh Chodesh Nissan, Nissan in general, but especially Rosh Chodesh Nissan? B'chol Sham B'Sham, Shezkar Yosef the Gula. Every year as we get closer to the Gula, Margishin Bo or Yosef Me'or Zeh Shel Yeshua, Hamitis, Shekol Harfashis Miyisrael, Asakan El Malchus Shema Yisborach. Every year as we get closer to the light of the Gula, we feel the light of the deliverance, the true deliverance. it comes into us in our very souls. We feel it, that it helps us, and we're able, it's a time that's Masuga that can help us rectify ourselves, become fixed and connected to Hashem. Rosh Chodesh in general is a feeling of the Or La'asid. Of course, the Rizal says Rosh Chodesh accesses the little bit of the Or of Kesser for the month, whatever that means. But like Tzadok saying, that means, bottom line is, that Rosh Chodesh is the time when we know that the Levana is going to be like the Chama. The moon's going to become expanded. So that's the Bechina that Rosh Chodesh is preparing for something. It's going to be a special Or of Rosh Chodesh. Right now we don't see it yet, but we will see it.
Even when it's dark, when it's darkest.
That's right. Now you have a Bechina. Exactly. Very beautifully said. Very, very well said. Very, very true. That's what Nassan says. You have to be a smart person, right? Right, you'll dare eat in the Bnei Yisrael, you'll dare eat in people. They knew, they understood how to calibrate out. It's because, on the one hand, the Inyan Rosh Chodesh, and you have the Gula Mitzrayim. When in the darkest place, that's when you reveal the biggest door. He said, but you have to really know what you're doing, or you're dead. You have to, you're unlike you're in this, like, you know what I mean? You're in this place of like impossible Nisayon, and then you like come out like unbelievable. You won, you did it, you got through it, but it's not so simple to.
How do you know what to do?
That's what he says. He says you need to see Hashem. You do what your best, and Hashem helps you. But like the bottom line is, you're the person in the biggest darkness. So on the one hand, you reveal the red, you reveal the new Levana. But on the other hand, you reveal the new moon. But it's not easy to do. You have to work hard. That's why you're not going to be into like keep trying. You'll get it. Keep trying. Keep working. It's not a one-time thing that you go back to your life and you're okay. No, not anymore. Now today, people just have to keep working till we're okay. You want to do tshuva, that's what you want with your whole self. You'll get it. It's not going to stay forever away from you. So, right? Right? It says every month and every Shabbos. That's strange. Shouldn't say the opposite. We would assume that it would say every month and every Shabbos. Why does it say every Shabbos? Why does it say every Shabbos, every month, every week and every month? It's normal. Every month and every week. He said because in times to come, every month it's going to have more kedusha even than Shabbos in a certain way, because it has or the Gula that's going to happen. It'll be a revelation of what's really going on there, right? Shehiktim Chodesh Shabbos to mashma sheyich kedushas gedolim Shabbos. It's just going to be stronger. The kviya b'kaima. Shabbos is absolutely. Permanent, as a sense of permanence, it's always there every month, right? And right, the Chodesh, the Yisrael b'kadshe, k'she'asimene kedusha k'vu b'kaima yigel yisrael. The Rosh Chodesh that the Klal Yisrael makes it when it becomes something that's absolutely set. That the moon's going to be a different reality, spiritual reality, whatever that means. I have no idea what it means, but that's what it says. So whatever that might mean, like the Ma'isa, the bottom line is you're going to have a much stronger kedusha. It's going to be much holier. Like Subis, one of us, when he goes there, is like two of them. Right? So it's about, it's among Subis. It's about somebody from Bavel who goes to Eretz Yisrael, I think. Maybe the opposite. Yeah, I think it's someone from Bavel goes to Eretz Yisrael, I believe that's what, or maybe the other way. Either way, one of us goes there, and we're twice as good. I think it's Bavel to Eretz Yisrael, and I think that's because even though in Bavel, compared to people of Eretz Yisrael, they weren't holding, but people from Bavel came to Eretz Yisrael, they got the order of Eretz Yisrael too, they got much harder. I think that's what it's saying. We had someone who was lesser, and he got to this bechina, this higher kedusha, whatever it might be, and he got even more. Kumi was the opposite, going to Eretz Yisrael. The Bavel, he gets twice as much. Either way, there's a bechina where you have the ability to access and become double what you were. That's what we're talking about there, and it's the same idea. You make Rosh Chodesh, it becomes double in bed. Then you have the revelation of the Chodesh, that Yisrael is going to be Klal Yisrael is going to be renewed like the moon, like the months. You can't tell the difference on the moon that we're every month being Hachodesh and doing what we're doing, making these tikkunim. You don't see these tikkunim. When you look at the world, you're only looking at the Hachodesh. You only see the outer part of it. There's a whole rich inner reality that we don't see at all, and that has to do primarily with the Jewish people. And that reality we don't see. We don't experience it. It's not so simple. There is still part of it. We just have to hold strong, be strong, not get suckered into focusing on the important Hachodesh. But the Hachodesh is not compared to the Pneumius. Okay, Kol kach moed. Like nifra al shem his gazik dusha b'lasid. right? You don't notice the Chiddush of the Levana, therefore it's not such a big moed. But it's set aside because of the revelation of the Kedusha that's going to be in times to come. Right? Rosh Chodesh Nissan Jehu Rosh L'chol HaChadashim Shebo Yeh Iker Haschalas Bereshis Schachos Oram Osid Boy Hu Tekef Hasagas Orozeh B'chol Levador. Rosh Chodesh Nissan, that's the very first month. It's going to be the main beginning of this revelation, of this light in times to come. Every generation. It's also a time where you can access this light in every generation. Especially in our generation. Because of Mashiach, we're closer to Mashiach, we're in the heel of Mashiach, the lowest place of the Komas Adam. It's Koma from the head to the heel. We're in the heel feels nothing. No, very little feeling. We're like have very big challenges and big abilities to overcome those challenges, big neshamas, big blockages. Right, very good. You can get a tremendous illumination of the aura of Mashiach and Rosh Chodesh Nissan. That's why Parashas Hachodesh to prepare us to connect us to the aura of the Chodesh Nissan, right? This is the illumination of the Shem Ekeh, which is said in the same of like the Zohar says, I am preparing to be. Nearly the whole dollar is a shame. All four letters, Aleph, K, Yud, K, shine during Rosh Chodesh Nissan itself, which because of the very beginning of the months. Included Rosh Chodesh Nissan is all the Rosh Chodesh of the whole year. For Oros HaAleph Rosh Chodesh, Aleph of Ekeh is Rosh Chodesh, that in and of itself, right? The first Hey is Yud Nissan. The Hey be Yud Bo.
Wait, how is Aleph Rosh Chodesh?
How is Aleph Rosh Chodesh? Because so Aleph is the Bechina of Pele. Aleph is Ketzer also, the Pashtus. Aleph alludes to Lufish Lolam, to the Bereshit more of his Galus of Hashem. Aleph is Atzilus, the very first level. So Mamela, on some level, the very first level. So it means actually the level of Ketzer. That's really what it's about. This element, this higher element.
He's saying every Rosh Chodesh is the beginning of Aleph.
Every Rosh Chodesh,
Nissan.
and especially Rosh Chodesh Nissan. Especially Rosh Chodesh Nissan. Yeah, that's because then the Hey, the first Hey is Yud, Shehu, Begulas, right? It's like a Hey, Shebon Nisgala, Bepol, Ora Ketzer, Haramus, Bekutzu, Shel Yud. I'm sorry, but Oris Hey Shaboy this guy Bipoil. I skipped like several lines, fine. Oris Albrecht Chodesh, for Hey Biyudbo, Shon Stavo Al Shurish Aschos Chuba Moshel Zara. On the Yud, the 10th of Nisan, what happened was that they were commanded to take the seh. They had to absolutely separate themselves from any kind of a totally zero reverence for the sheep. They take that sheep or that goat, and they're absolutely, no matter what. I'm sure the Egyptians, it was a miraculous thing that they were not afraid of their taskmasters. They overcame their fear for the taskmasters. They could kill them for touching their idolatry, and this is the idea of completely separating themselves from a That's what that first hay is about. Right, so that's like a little bit of an indication again. The Aleph. So you have Rosh Chodesh again. You have Rosh. The Aris is that Rosh alludes to the Mochin, to the higher aspects. You're getting to a place that's above nature, right? And that's really the purpose of that, is to give some level, give you some aspect, some touching of Kesser. Again, that's the Aleph. Rosh Chodesh. And this Bechina, Rosh Chodesh is the aspect of the Kesser for the month, right? And the Hay, that first Hay is the Bechina of Teshuvah, right? That's right. That's.
How is the Hay a Yud?
What?
How is the Hay the Yud?
The Hay is not the Yud. You have the Aleph, and then you have the Hay. The Yud is the Yud, and we'll see the Yud in a minute. Yud is going to be Pesach itself, Leil Seder. And the last Hay is going to be Shvisha Pesach. It's going to be to Mitzrayim.
Are saying the Hay is the 10th?
The Hay is the 10th of Nisan, because that's when they were told to take the korban. And then Moshchi Yudechem Arizah, you have to totally separate yourselves from the Rizor now.
What's the kesher between Hay and the 10th of the month, though? Why Dafka Hay?
So again, you have the Bechina of Tshuva is Hay.
And taking the lamb was
Tshuva
was a
is
kind of
hey.
tshuva?
Yeah, that's right. That's what he says. Totally stay away from these inyanim. Right? So this bechin of tshuva, which is the hay. This world is made of a hay, and if you want to do tshuva, you have to go up and make it gather. So they made it gather. That's what they did. That's why it's a hay. And they go back into that hay, make it gather. That's matzah, chametz, and matzah. Like the Zohar says, chametz and matzah. The difference is a little difference, a slight difference, not a big difference. Fine, very good. So that's the hay. Kulachem seh the mitzvah. Like you have to take the seh of mitzvah and totally eradicate it. That was the way you totally dissociate yourself from any idolatry. But or a yud shebon v'skala apoel or a keser lamos b'kutza sheyud. Who goes mitzrayim? Right, but that's fine. Gula mitzrayim is a complete revelation of the kutza sheyud. Right, the kutza sheyud again. So the bechin of the Rosh Chodesh, the first bechin, but now you have an absolute, not only a kind of revelation, but an absolute revelation of the bechin of the highest bechinas. You're reaching the highest levels when you're dealing with the Leil Seder. You are picked up to the highest levels, mamish. And of course, the absolute total revelation of Kesser is going to be Shavuos, but you're really building towards it. You get the or like Pesach. You get this special or of this Kesser, which is the master plan. That the master plan pulled us out of Mitzrayim even though we were not ready. Like Tzaddok says, I always mention this, right? It means never give up. No matter if you're in the worst place, you can always go out. You're always close to Hashem. But it's more than that, because this bechina of what Pesach is a revelation. If I want to leave a bad behavior, if I want to be better, if I want to strengthen my emunah, if I want to be better, if I want to be more connected, so the best time to do it is Pesach mamish. That's mamish the best time. Like we're leaving Mitzrayim means you leave your bad, especially your bad problems, and you get this you get this light, this connection, this ability to just start again, to be a different person, to really change. And that's really what it comes down to. And we have to learn how to connect to Hashem and how to change. That's the yud. Right? The hey achroina b'tikin ichud hamayim shebishvi shepeisel sheshika tzorenu b'mayim leisel hever b'sochei yamei b'ashim and l'mchoyim amimim mismayam. Right? That's that last hay. That the water, everything happened, totally the sea was split for us and fell on our enemies. Right? Right? Lishlut b'hem shlo yachol lishlut b'hem. They weren't able to rule over the Jewish people with all these different illicit desires, which was basically what Egypt was about. It was like, no. It became, for us, a choma. It protected us. The war usually alludes to taiva, to desire. Like the Tanya says in many ways, Nefesh HaChaim says, because it grows and it causes things to expand. Expansiveness is the aspect of taiva, of desire. And we were able to use the desire. The Shvisha Pesach is using desire as a wall. You walled off from misusing desire.
What's the kesher to hay though?
Okay, so that's again this bechina of the hay. You have the bechina of what the hay is. The hay also is this bechina of this, dealing with, the lower self. That's what Parashas, what we're talking about here. And again, what the hay of Ekya is actually. What are these hays? What exactly is each of these things? You have the Yud K, Lamaisa, the Shem Yud K, right? Yud is Olam Haba, and K is this world. Again, so we said the K of the first K about Ek is the beginnings of their absolute tshuva, right? And then you have this bechina of Shvisha Pesach where it's solidified, and we were able to go into the Yam and split it. That means mamish get to the dry land, and to get to the place where you can use this world to connect to Hashem, the emes, like really. The taivas are supposed to help you, motivate you, move you. They're not supposed to, these drives that we have, they're not supposed to be misused and become a thing in of themselves. They're just one part of who we are. And that's not the part that's going to last. Nobody cares about how many, my father likes to make fun of people, they have these bumper stickers, whoever died with the most toys wins. He's like, so, you have more toys. Like, is it going to matter? Like, he likes to tell the story of this crazy actress. I don't know if she might have been. I'm sure she was very famous. She wanted to be better than Ferrari, and they fought it in court. And the judge is like, "I'm sorry, that's better." They grow up and take the Ferrari. It's a very expensive car. It's like, what are you going to do? Keep it a guard at the cemetery? So like, you know what, we're gonna dig her up. We'll fine. We'll put her in this Ferrari. We're gonna pour cement in this Ferrari, so no one will ever be able to drive it. Cement is now you have to take it. It's already because you're gonna break it to pieces. By the time you get the cement out, it's already impossible. Put cement in it, dry it, and then she went in a Ferrari. Like, it's got no meaning. So if these people believe in the spiritual content, their fields of spirituality were very, very connected to materialism. So they're buried with their things, but. It's not, you know, that's not what we believe.
Buried with one of his Cadillacs.
Yeah, people. And it's like, what are you joking? Okay, so primitives, they don't really understand. Like Nachman says, he says, you know, people in the world, they don't have a drach, they don't know what to do. It's a very big pity on them. How they're supposed to figure out what to do and how to do. We have a Torah, we know what to do. It's like we have, you know, when you don't have a Torah, you can get confused in lots of ways. But like here's like, what is this? Okay, you have Ferrari, so he's dead. He's you know, decomposing. What's the Ferrari gonna help?
So is he saying these two hays? It seems he's saying that the first hay is a level of tshuva where you're like mafrish
That's
from
right.
the taiva.
You make the gever.
The second one is like you reach
using the taivas.
You overcome it.
Yeah,
you use it.
exactly.
The taiva instead of staying away from the taiva. The taiva itself serves the shah.
Exactly. And the yud,
Wow.
the yud of the seder is. I mean, he says it's kultur sheyud. Really, the yud is of course chachma. You're reaching to the bechina of keser. The bechina of keser. It's going to be
it's
a
like
bechina.
The two hays. It's like
That's
two
right.
shlavim of
That's
the
right.
same
That's
process.
what I understand. Yes, pastors. And then you have the bechina of the yud. The yud is the chachma. What you get on the little seder. You're reaching also the bechina of keser. The kultur sheyud. Keser is murdik or is very powerful koyach that you have now to really change, to really transform yourself, and that's especially expressed in Shvisha Pesach. That's why all these big things happen. Shvisha Pesach is a big day.
Is this the reason that Hashem told Moshe his name Ekyeh when he was talking to him before he sent Moshe Rabbeinu?
Bina and Keser, exactly. Yes.
Is this name Ekyeh is dafka tied in with the Gula then?
But it also means I'm prepared. It's tied to the Gula, but it's also tied to Teshuvah. Like the Rebbe brings, like he brings here from the Mizorah, and the Rebbe brings also Anazam the Behebe. Ekyeh means I'm prepared to become. You have to actualize yourself. You can't stay yourself, and that is mamish. If you want to know the theme of Pesach, like everything, it's self-actualization. And we're really working, and it can take many years. Like it takes time, but you really have to stay as much as you can. Stick to it. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up, and eventually you'll get it. Shalom, but you're going to get to a place where you can actualize yourself. And there are levels and levels. There are some levels where a person, it's very tragic. Miscarriage is very tragic. But there's something called spiritual miscarriage, where a person just doesn't actualize. It's like chaval. You have something to do in the world. You have a mission. Why aren't you doing your mission? God sent you here for a reason. Well, what's the deal? You're here for something. Do it. Whatever way you can. And we have to hold on. We have to be strong. Okay, so we're almost done with this. That's why I want to read it inside. It's very rich. It's so rich. It's kedai, like this half hour is kedai. That's what I would say. Right? That was Sha'amar Bihini Tom Od Zay Yitzhara Kishkafuv Ein Shod Bo Nasa Gamu Tom Od Zay Yitzhara. That's one of the Mahachim in the Medrash. He said when it's under you, when it becomes you integrate your lower self into connecting to Hashem, that is a beautiful thing, and that's what Krish Shamsaf is. Because you're going into a yam, it's like impossible. It's such a tumultuous place. You want to connect to Hashem, despite your type, despite your lower nature, and actualize yourself and really get yourself to move. And put everything in the right place. I have these drives. Okay, use these drives. Wake up the drive. Understand, they're and we all understand this. Person he's like, I'm gonna learn every day, whatever I'm gonna learn. So that's going to build up to be something incredible. Rebbe Alexander says a person learns 10 minutes a day. He's not the guy became a Talmid Chacham, learn 10 minutes a day. But learn 10 minutes of Malacha every day. And eventually you figure it out. You become an expert in Archaim, an expert in your day, an expert. It's not, how long is it? How long does it have to take? So do it a little bit. Again, it's good to do more, it's good to do what you can. And you should chabal just that, but at least that. So you actualize. Don't make sure that every daily thing is going to be connecting to Hashem. It's going to be wanting Hashem, yearning, longing, using your time for avodas Hashem the way you should, doing what you should do. Just stick to it. You'll figure out what you need to do. That's how Shivcha Niyam saw what Yechezkel didn't see. Right? How come? Right, to Iyas Mara, Hanavuhu Aidi, Bittel Hataiva Shel Tov Avo, V'tochem HaShamayim Shurikia Hamad Ben HaMayim Milyanim, Shurachik Shnesparach, Shmitzay Tov, Matachtonim, Betaiva Shalom Hazeh. That was the Shem Shemayim. Why? Beautiful. He said you have to nullify the tithus of Tohu that are nothing. Through this you open up the Shemayim. The Rakia that splits between Mayim and Mayim. Yeah, because this is also right. Yeah, we'll get there in a minute. We'll get there, right? Between Mayim and Mayim, you have the Mayim Elyonim. What is the Mayim Elyonim? That's the cheshik for Hashem, for the Yetzer Tov. To the Mayim Tachtonim, you have this desire for Hashem, for the good. To the Mayim Tachtonim, it's a desire for these list of things. So when you do them L'Shem Shemayim, you're doing them in order to connect to Hashem. So on whatever level you can. Then the more you can able to do, the more you see things. We'll get back to that in a minute. Every single year, during these 4 days, Rosh Chodesh Nissan, and that's what Parashas Hachodesh is about, especially on this month like today, a year like today, like this year, where Parashas Hachodesh is on Rosh Chodesh, right? Rosh Chodesh Nissan. Rosh Chodesh prepare yourself for Rosh Chodesh Nissan. That's why you're doing Chodesh. Why is this Chodesh? Well, this Chodesh, because Rosh Nissan is like a big deal, right? You can get all of these illuminations and these rectifications, every person according to how much he prepares himself. Every year, they shine more. Why? The mitzvahs we do during this time are preparing next year's Parashas Hachodesh. Next year's Rosh Chodesh, next year's Pesach, and next year all these things become strong because you have another Pesach behind you and another Pesach behind you. And we know, the Medrash says, I believe it's the Medrash, or Chazal, that they did the Korban Pesach, however many they did, and they didn't do it with Kavanah. They took away the Korban Pesach, and we don't need the Korban, we have to get the Kavanah together. So we're doing year after year doing the Kavanah. It's like, it's building up. Everything's building up. So our main focus now is Kavanah. We're coming closer to the time when it's going to be the ultimate time when Hashem is going to deliver us. So on the one hand, it's because of before, just like we said before, right? You can get before. There's an aspect. It's an aspect of from before and from after, right? You can get from last year. We're bringing more ore of Pesach, and this year because we're closer to the Gula. Fine. Shiyiru Gamkin Kol Basu Yachtav Kipi Hashem Dibur. Everyone's going to know that it's from Hashem. But lo